All right, let's dive right into this. Welcome to today's Explainer. We've got an absolutely inspiring story lined up for you today, and it actually doubles as the perfect Nothing is Free Level 1 Learn English Through Story English Listening Practice experience. So if you're looking to level up your English while getting a serious dose of life motivation, you are in the exact right place. Today we're exploring a really powerful narrative called Nothing is Free, following the incredible journey of a young guy named Leo. Let's jump right into his world and see how sheer determination can literally change everything.
So to really understand Leo, we got to look at where he started. He's this 20-year-old kid living in a quiet mountain town, and his family is, frankly, really struggling financially. His dad, Mark, is a hard-working mechanic. His mom, Claire, cleans houses just to make ends meet. And he's got this 10-year-old little sister, Sophie, who completely idolizes him. And Leo? He has these massive, burning dreams of becoming a successful entrepreneur. He wants to open a whole chain of restaurants and give his family a better life. But one night, just looking up at the stars, it all feels so impossible. The very next day, he's venting this frustration to his dad, and Mark gives him this incredibly powerful piece of advice. Dreams are not free. If you want something, you have to fight for it. And man, that single sentence basically becomes the compass for Leo's entire life.
Which brings us to Section 1. A dream starts small. Because Leo really takes his father's words to heart, and he decides to take a massive, absolutely courageous first step to secure his very first batch of bread.
He walks miles to meet Mr. Anderson. Now, Mr. Anderson is the notoriously grumpy owner of a distant bakery, but Leo asks him for bread on credit for just 1 week, promising he's going to work incredibly hard to prove himself. And astonishingly, Mr. Anderson actually agrees. Just listen to this daily schedule, because it perfectly illustrates what that hard work looked like. At 4 a.m., Leo was up in the pitch dark. By 5 a.m., he's walking miles to the bakery, and by 7 a.m., he's already back in town, setting up his little stand near the park and greeting everyone with this huge smile. He repeated that grueling physical routine day in and day out.
It definitely wasn't easy at first. People didn't even know if the bread was actually good. But Leo was smart. He used that classic business strategy of offering free samples, and once people tasted it, they were totally hooked. He paid Mr. Anderson back perfectly on time every single day, completely earning his trust. And then, after 2 solid months of working tirelessly, he finally saved up enough money to buy a small cart. This was a real game changer. It meant he could transport way more bread, make more sales, and take his first real step toward true growth.
Moving right along into Section 2, the risk to learn. Leo realizes that if he truly wants to grow his business and actually make a profit, he can't just keep reselling. He has to learn how to bake.
So he goes right back to Mr. Anderson and asks for lessons. At first, Mr. Anderson is pretty hesitant. Why create your own competitor, right? But Leo promises he will always support the man who gave him his very first chance. And so, the brutal lessons begin. When you hear these steps, mix the flour, knead the dough, bake perfectly, it sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? But in reality, Leo was showing up at the bakery at 3 a.m. His hands were physically aching and cramping from kneading that heavy dough. His early batches were coming out either rock hard or completely mushy. It was just a painful, exhausting struggle to master this entirely new skill. In fact, after ruining yet another batch, Leo actually sits down feeling just completely defeated. He's seriously wondering if he should just throw in the towel. But then, his father's words echo in his mind again. Dreams aren't free. He realizes this really hard truth. Every single mistake was teaching him something new. Giving up just wasn't an option anymore. So he practices every step super carefully, day after day, until finally Mr. Anderson hands him a loaf and tells him it's perfect. After that, Leo rents a small oven, starts baking at home with his mom and little sister pitching in, and his business absolutely flourishes.
But as we transition into Section 3, facing the competition, the real world comes knocking. A brand new rival bakery opens up right smack in the middle of town.
Just as Leo is really hitting his stride, whipping up these incredible cookies and pastries, this new shop opens. It's run by a young guy named Eric, and man, it causes Leo's hard-earned sales to just plummet overnight. The contrast here is wild. On one side, you've got Leo's cart. It's small, he's self-taught, the setup is super basic. On the other side is Eric's bakery, this big, fancy shop, bright, colorful signs, gorgeous cakes in the window. It is a massive mismatch, visually and business-wise. Leo is terrified he's going to lose everything he's fought so hard to build. But here is exactly what separates successful entrepreneurs from everybody else. Leo didn't panic. He didn't get mad. Instead, he went straight to his customers and asked them, "What do you like about Eric's? What can I do better?"
He took that feedback and adapted immediately. He dug into his savings to paint his cart and add these bright decorations. He started offering free samples of his new pastries. And this is my favorite part, he actually went to the local library and watched videos to teach himself how to beautifully decorate cakes. Because of that incredible resilience, his customers came flooding back. Eventually, he saved enough to rent his very own warm, welcoming shop, proudly naming it Leo's Fresh Bakes.
Which brings us to Section 4, Out of the Ashes. Because just as the business is absolutely thriving, a devastating overnight fire threatens to destroy every single thing Leo has built.
One stormy night, right as he's closing up, a fire breaks out near the oven. He rushes in and manages to put it out, but the damage is done. Almost all of his expensive, hard-earned baking equipment is completely ruined. The next morning, the whole town hears about it. People are whispering, assuming this just has to be the end of the line for the young baker. I mean, what would Leo do now? He doesn't have nearly enough saved up to replace all that gear. It would be so easy and completely understandable for him to just walk away from it all.
But Leo stands outside his burnt bakery and he tells himself, this is just a challenge, I won't give up. He actually goes to his old mentor, Mr. Anderson, who reminds him of the golden rule, nothing is free. So Leo goes back home and just starts baking all over again with the tiny bit of equipment he has left, promising his customers he won't let them down. And guys, this really reveals the absolute magic of community. Because when you work hard and never give up, people notice. The townspeople are so incredibly moved by his courage that they rally right behind him. They're donating ingredients, chipping in small amounts of cash, and even offering their own physical labor to help clean and repair the shop.
And that incredible community effort leads us perfectly into Section 5, 4 Lessons for Success. Months later, there's a grand reopening that proves with absolute determination, literally anything is possible.
Leo's Fresh Bakes comes back better than ever. New colors, new menu items, the whole shebang. Even the town's mayor shows up to praise Leo. During the grand reopening, Leo addresses the crowd, and his speech essentially gives us the core takeaways of today's explainer. Let's break them down. Number 1, dreams are not free. They absolutely require hard work and sacrifice. Number 2, failure is not the end. Every ruined batch of bread was just a chance to learn and come back stronger. Number 3, help yourself first. When the town saw Leo baking from home after the fire, they stepped in. People naturally want to support folks who put in the effort. And number 4, never give up. The darkest moments, like standing outside a burned-down shop, are so often right before your greatest success.
You know, Leo didn't just build a bakery. He built a life full of purpose, respect, and pride. He proved that hard work literally pays off. So I want to leave you with this final provocative thought to carry with you today. What is your dream? Whatever it is, I really hope this explainer has shown you that you shouldn't stop chasing it. Remember, absolutely nothing is free, but with grit and resilience, absolutely everything is possible. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I hope this story brings you one big step closer to your own goals. Catch you next time.